Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and go over the alphabet with you. Out to the left-hand side, you will see the letters, and to the right are how you say each of those letters. So let's go ahead and repeat them. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, Ñ, O, P, Q, R, S, T, U, V, W, X, Y, Z. Okay, let's look at this note over here. Unlike English, words in Spanish are usually written in a manner that is very consistent with their pronunciation. Once you learn the system, you do not need a dictionary to know how a word is pronounced. So once you learn how to say your letters, pretty much you'll be able to sound out any word in Spanish. There's just a few letters that have similar sounds that might cause you some spelling concerns, but for the most part, once you learn your alphabet, you should be a pretty good speller in Spanish because they don't do a lot of what we do in English where we have rules where certain combinations like E-I-G-H and the word eight actually sounds like A, or cake, A, consonant E, that E is silent, it's just there to make your A, the long A sound. They don't do that in Spanish. If you see A, it's always A. If you see E, it's always A, etc. Okay, so a couple things to go over. We've got B here and we've got ube. B and ube actually sound the same, and in some countries they might call this B grande and this one B chica. Or I think maybe B larga and B corta. So they always call this one like big B or long B and this one short B or little b. But they sound the same. So if you see a word like this, you're not going to say voy, you say boy, or Venus. So you always pronounce the V like a B. So always pronounce the letter V like a B. Okay. Let's see, what else is there? Say. Say has more than one sound, and maybe you don't know this, but a lot of you know what this word is. This is how you say the number 5, cinco. So what you're actually saying is cinco. Okay? So that first C sounds like an S, and the second C sounds like a K. So C, next to an E or an I sounds like an S, and C next to an O, A, U, or a consonant sounds like a K. Okay? And then just remember your vowels are a little bit tricky. These guys are your vowels right here. This one's always ah. This is A. Okay, we tend to associate that sound with this letter, but from now on, remember that this is A. This one is E. Okay, so your biggest problem is going to be remembering that the vowels are pronounced a little bit differently than what we're used to, and it's even trickier because they have sounds that we're used to. We just tend to associate them with different letters. This is O, and this is U. Okay, so the biggest ones is A, and E. So you just want to keep going over those three so that you remember. Then the G also has more than one sound. For example, this word, a lot of people have trouble pronouncing this word because it's got two G's and it looks a little funky. People like geografia, but it's not. It's pronounced geografia, like this. Geografia. Geografia. So whenever the G is next to, just like the C, when G next to an E or an I sounds like an H, and G next to an O, A, U, or consonant sounds like a G, okay, or the G we're used to. So the G sound, as in Gonzalez, ga, gu, gu, okay, so they gave it to you here, Garcia, Gomez, Paraguay, Gutierrez, and then Sigüenza, Lingüística, Guerra, Guinea. So just remember that G next to an E or an I sounds like an H, and G next to an O, an A, or a U sounds like a G. Let's see here. Okay. All right, so the H is actually silent because you've probably seen words, this word. You guys never said hola, you say hola, okay? And you don't say, for this word, you don't say hotel, you say hotel. So H is silent. Whenever you see the H, just don't pronounce it, okay? So they've got it down here. The letter H is always silent in Spanish. Hablar, hacer. Okay, let's see, what else do we have? So we've done the H. J, do they mention anything about J? J also often sounds like an, J sounds like an H. So for example, you have the word Thursday, which is written like this, jueves. You pronounce it jueves. So you make it the H sound, jueves. So whenever you see J, pronounce it like an H. Ka and W are often used just in words of foreign origin, like karate, kinder, whiskey. So most of the times when you hear the K sound, you're going to be using the C, like as in cinco, you hear the K sound, you use a C, or a QU, and we'll get to the QU in just a minute. And the W is often that W sound you can see in jueves, it's usually made by the U. So you have jueves, or a word like muerto, which would sound like muerto, okay? So you usually makes the W, the W sound, okay? Okay, and then we've got LA, which is just like that, L, Luis, Luz, but when you have two L's together, it makes a Y sound. So if you have a word like this, you pronounce it not lamo, ya, mo, okay? So the double L makes a Y sound. So whenever you see two L's together, pronounce it like a ya. Let's see what else is there. M, N, Enye. Enye really sounds like N-Y. So when I have a word like this, año, I pronounce it like an, yo. Okay? Or if I have España, it's España. Okay? So the Enye sounds like NY. Okay? Ku is the QU, and it doesn't make a Kwa sound. Q is usually accompanied by a QU, and QU makes the K sound. It's how you get the the key K sound. So for example, a word like this, which you'll see a lot in Spanish, is pronounced like this. Okay. R, you roll the R when your word starts with an R or when there's two R's. So if you have two R's or a word starts with the letter R, roll it. Whoops. So for example, if I have the word carro, I pronounce it carro. And if I have this one, so this one is a car, and this one is expensive. This would be carro, and this would be carro. Okay. Then you've got ese. I'll go back to S and C in just a minute. T, U. We already went over V. V double X. The X is going to sometimes sound like KS and sometimes like an H. So X can sound like KS and sometimes like H. For example, here, whoops. You say Mexico, it sounds like an H there. But then in a word like excelente, then it sounds like a KS, excelente, okay? And then you've got yay, which the Y can sound like a vowel or it can sound like a semi-vowel. For example, yo, it sounds like it can sound like a semi-vowel or a consonant. For yo, it sounds like a consonant, but in a word like soy, it sounds like a semi-vowel. So sometimes it's a little, if it ends let's see, if it starts a word, it's going to be harsher or maya. Actually, I don't really know. Just in some words, it's going to be soft. In some words, it's going to be hard. So yo, it's hard. Maya, it's hard. But then you'll have words like soy, boy, where it's softer. Let's see. And zeta, the Z sounds like an S. Let's see, did they put, so for example, here, Zaragoza would be Zaragoza with an S. So like you wouldn't say Zaragoza, you would say Zaragoza. Now, you'll see, I think they're trying to show you the feo. In some parts of Spain, they will use for CE and CI, and for Z, they'll make the th sound. So in some parts of Spain, they won't say Zaragoza, they'll say Zaragoza. Instead of saying cinco, they say cinco. So in some parts of Spain, whenever you see CE, CI, or Z, they make the th sound instead of the s sound, and that's called the thefeo.